This is yet another step toward global tyranny. Hey guys, Britt here. Welcome to End Times Bible Prophecy. We're already seeing the infrastructure being put in place for the Tribulation beast system. It's happening right before our eyes, from central bank digital currencies to the Starlink satellite constellation to the Internet of Things. All these different technologies that are becoming ubiquitous, they're becoming part of our environment. And now we're taking the next step toward global tyranny. What am I talking about? Well, let's take a look at this right here. This is from Prophecy Newswatch. It says, will AI be listening to your every word? Amazon hopes so. And let me tell you, in many instances, it already is and has been. And we're going to talk about that. But what is this about? What is Amazon B? So this says, for years, Amazon has insisted its Alexa devices only listen when prompted by a wake word. But now the company appears ready to drop the charade entirely. It's announced plans to acquire B, a startup behind a new wearable AI bracelet that listens to and transcribes everything you say all day long. Yes, every word, whether you're talking to your spouse, venting alone in the car, whispering in church, or brainstorming at work, the bracelet's AI is quietly documenting it all. No wake word, no permission, just endless listening. According to B's CEO, the goal is to build a world where AI is truly personal. The bracelet doesn't store audio, but creates a searchable, real-time text transcript of your day. It even identifies and pulls out to-do items and calendar events from your everyday chatter. Amazon claims the deal isn't finalized yet, but their interest speaks volumes. In today's AI arms race, the company knows that more personal data equals more powerful AI. And if AI is going to run your life, it wants every word you say to feed the machine. But at what cost? Well, guys, the cost of your freedom and liberty is ultimately what it comes down to. So I'm not sure why anyone would want one of these. If you do, leave a comment below and let us know. But I would assume people are using this maybe in more of a professional environment where it's a form of dictation or a form of organization to create to-do lists and to be able to remember things. But if you forget that it's on and throughout the course of the day you're going to say things that maybe you don't want transcribed or put into the record, and then think of all the problems this has for those of us that would, like me, I would never get one of these things. And you may say the same thing. I'm never going to have one of these, so I don't have anything to worry about. But what if the people around you do? Right? If the person you're having a conversation with at the coffee shop or at the Thanksgiving dinner table, if they're wearing one, well, then parts of your conversations are being transcribed, or records being created without your consent. So this opens up a whole bunch of a legal can of worms, all sorts of different issues. But guys, unfortunately, none of this is new. As they stated, for years, Amazon's insisted its Alexa devices only listen when prompted by a wake word. Well, that's simply not true. So I want to look at this from Prophecy Newswatch. This is another article, Alexa, Stop Listening. And I wrote this 6.5 years ago. To the exact day, 6.5 years ago to this day. And in that, we talked about that Alexa, all the Siri, all these personal assistant devices that would guide you, you talk to it, it talks back, or it performs things for you, that by definition, they are always listening. Despite these corporations saying, oh, no. Amazon, Alexa, your Echo Dot isn't listening to you all the time. It only listens when you use the wake word, when you say Alexa. And right now, as I'm saying this, maybe in somebody's home, Alexa's asking, what? How can I help you out? Right? Because it's hearing its name. But think about this. How does it hear the wake word if it's not listening? So I think what Amazon may be trying to say or state is, well, it's not actively listening and recording you until you use the wake word. But again, we'll point out that also is not true, because we have cases. So one going back 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, there was an incident where a man died in a hot tub, and police suspected that this other individual he had been with was the guilty party, that he had been murdered. And they subpoenaed the audio files from Amazon Alexa. This was in a 2015 incident, so 10 years ago. And they were able to recover audio files of the conversations between these two individuals. Now, ultimately, that didn't lead to a conviction. I don't know if the guy was guilty or not, but he was certainly found that they dropped the charges because they didn't have evidence. The guy's pieces of those conversations leading up to the moment when this man passed away were recoverable from that device. Now, are we to believe that they said, well, Alexa, awaken, because somebody's about to die and I want a transcript of the conversation we're having right now for future use? No. I doubt that happened. No, it's always listening and always recording, or at least almost always recording. Can't be certain of it unless the device is just not powered, not turned off. It doesn't have a power source. But if it's in a mode where you simply call out to it and it responds back, well, it's been listening to everything else before you use that wake word. So I want you to think about what that means and how people have been just willingly putting these devices all throughout their homes. We have another incident from 7-8 years ago where a man in Frankfurt, Germany found out about this, and he said, well, no, wait a second, they're recording what I'm saying. Amazon's recording what I'm saying. And of course they are, because and the proof of that, guys, that it's always listening. Think about conversations you've had throughout your day, things you might say offhand. And then later that same day, maybe even that same hour, you're on your phone, your computer, your TV, and you see an ad or a product recommendation for something you just mentioned, right? So talk about some odd product that you would never buy, or a vacation destination you would never go to, and watch how this pops up later that day as a recommendation or ads for that destination or that weird product that you mentioned. It happens. They're listening all the time. But anyway, in Frankfurt, Germany, this man found out, well, this is happening. And so he reached out to Amazon and he said, I want you to send me my audio files from my device. So they said, sure, no problem. So they sent him 1,700 audio files. And when he received them, he realized they weren't his, but his neighbor's. So again, we can see the danger here of being able to listen to what's happening in homes. So basically, people have been putting bugging devices, we might have called them spying devices in the past, and putting them all throughout their home, and they're listening all the time. And now we have much more sophisticated AI systems. Had AI systems back then, but now they're at a whole new level from where they were 7 years ago, 10 years ago. They're able to sift through all of this data, which means increasingly very little of what you do is private anymore. Very little of what you do isn't being surveyed, watched, spied upon. Yes, this is exactly what we would expect to see the world looking like as we approach the tribulation period. So the Bible tells us that during that 7-year tribulation period, one man will control the entire world. He'll rule over every people, nation, tribe, and language. We read that in Revelation chapter 13, verse 7. Now, how is that possible outside of the use of technologies like the very ones we're seeing right now? So certainly we've had the ability to listen to conversations in homes for decades on end. The problem for the world's intelligence agencies has been not gathering the data, but analyzing the data. We can collect all of this data. We can place these listening devices everywhere. How do we sift through all this? We don't have the manpower to listen to all these conversations and comb through everything. Well, that's no longer a problem. AI can do all that almost instantaneously. And so we're seeing all of these devices come about. And again, none of this should surprise us. What I think is somewhat surprising is how willing we are to engage in our own surveillance, to be complicit in our own surveillance, bringing these things into our homes, from Ring doorbell cameras that not only look at who's on your front porch, but who's in the neighborhood in view of that camera. Listening devices in our homes, in our bedrooms, everywhere. Because it's convenient. Yeah, every government in the world can hack into these devices and, use AI to sift through all of our conversations. And, there's no privacy anymore, but it's really convenient to be able to say, Alexa, turn the lights on, or Alexa, play me some of the Beatles, or the Bee Gees, right? So none of this stuff is, we're trading freedom and liberty for convenience. And this is going to lead to a very bad place. So guys, let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Before we go, over at the Substack, I had this article come out on Saturday. I'm not going to read it out because of where this video will be on the platforms. But at the bottom of that article is a link for the live Q&A this Wednesday. So the live Q&A with me and Jenny is this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's August 6th. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, if you're a premium subscriber, leave your comments below. If you can't make that, if you want to attend, but you say, Britt, I've got a conflict, I can't make it there, leave your question at the bottom in the comments to this article or this video as well. But do so on Substack. That's where I'll see those. I'll collect those questions. We'll answer those questions during the live Q&A on Wednesday. If you're able to make it to the live Q&A, then you can just simply ask the questions during the live Q&A. That's not a problem. And then the replay of that will go out on Thursday as normal. So if you're unable to make that, don't worry about that. You'll be able to watch the live Q&A replay the next day. And if you have any questions that you've left in those comments, we'll answer those. And you can see our response in the replay on Thursday. Again, if you aren't a premium subscriber, but you want to be one, just send me a message over on Substack. Let me know, no questions asked. We will make you a premium subscriber. We don't want anyone to miss out on the content here due to financial concerns. So guys, what do you think about all this? Are you going to get one of these Amazon Bee bracelets that transcribes every conversation you have throughout the course of the day? I will not be doing that. But if you are, yeah, feel free to leave a comment. Let us know why. I'm not sure that anybody's going to see the benefit in this, that the benefits will be enough for what you're trading. You're trading all your privacy for what? A reminder of your to-do list, a reminder to go to the grocery store and pick up bread or whatever it may be that AI will be able to figure out from your conversations how it could help you. I understand the benefit from Amazon's standpoint and from corporate America's standpoint, and from the governments of the world, and why they would want all of this information. I just don't understand why anyone would participate in this. Certainly we can see with phones, with some of these other devices, why the convenience factor, the productivity factor leads people to have these, and they just don't realize what's being done with that information. But actually putting on a bracelet with the intent of the purpose of this bracelet is to listen to everything I say and do all day. and create a transcript that could then be taken. I mean, think of the impact. What if you're talking with a lawyer or an accountant? If you're in a business meeting discussing proprietary content, anything that you don't want made public, a counseling session. What if somebody else? What if the other party that you're talking to has one of these? Then all of this stuff what becomes able to be acquired by others, what could become acquired by others as a result of that. This is a very dangerous road that we're going down. I believe we're headed to global tyranny. And guys, this is only going to get worse, because as we see technology advance, I believe we're going to see what's called smart dust, which is particles the size of dust that have high definition video and high definition audio. They collect all of that, the feeds of that from their environment, push them toward AI systems, and these types of devices will just simply float across the earth like dust. They'll come in through ventilation systems, they'll cover every surface, and they'll constantly be listening. We are not far away from that. A lot of people would say, oh, that's 2 centuries from now. We're never going to see that. No, technology is advancing exponentially. We are much closer to that than almost anyone realizes. The people that are paying attention to this realize how close we are to that. And guys, that sets the stage for this global dictatorship the Bible clearly warns us about. So guys, make sure that you are sharing the good news of Jesus Christ with as many people as possible. Because people need to know Jesus, period, at any period in time. They need to know Jesus. They've needed to know Jesus. But guys, we don't know how much time we have left. None of us knows which day will be our last. But seeing all these things tells us that the 7-year tribulation is coming up. It's in the very near future. And the rapture of the church comes before that, in my opinion. I believe that's what the Bible teaches. That means the whole church could be gone in an instant at any moment. So every chance we have to share the gospel, we should be taking advantage of that. So guys, let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Make sure to hit the like, share, subscribe buttons. God willing, I'll see you on Wednesday.